Hello everybody, today we are here in Shenzhen at Cifnews Global Conference with Michelle from EU China Logistics. What you guys do, can you introduce a little bit this company and what you are doing?
Yes, not a company, it's an initiative launched by the government of Wallonia region, also together with a cluster of companies in charge of logistic support called Logistics in Wallonia in our region in Belgium, and also supported by the Liège airport, the famous Liège airport, fully dedicated to cargo, seventh most important airport cargo in Europe, and open 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's very important to mix the efforts of the governments, of the companies and the infrastructure as the airport to launch this initiative of EU China Logistics and supported all the Chinese logistic providers, logistic e-commerce companies to start their business as an incubation inside Europe.
What do you think the main trends for logistics in this 2019? What are the main big trends coming and from international trading?
Yes, I'm sure that the e-commerce is a worldwide booming initiative now that all of the companies, all the consumers in China, in the US and in Europe now are trying maybe to develop a lot and we hope and we are sure that these e-commerce companies and this new way of making shopping for the future will be very extremely booming for the next months and years, and we will be part of this new trend of commerce.
Is there any special regulations that the Belgian government, that the Wallonia region is putting into practice in order to specifically target and help Chinese companies in entering Europe in such a complicated times with a lot of different things going on at political level and multiple levels? So what is the Belgian government, what is the Wallonia region specifically doing in terms of regulation to tackle this issue?
Thank you for this question, because all the regulation and the regulations are at a European level. So the difference made between the different European countries is of all facilities and open-minded approach of these companies that we try to develop inside the different countries. Mainly in Belgium, first we are very close to the European Commission. So we are close to the stakeholders and the decision makers in Europe to develop new contacts and new partnerships with them. Inside the European regulation, this is the same in all the European countries, but we try to take by hands these Chinese companies to have a better understanding of how it works in Europe. And from the central location of Europe, it's very, very easy to have this kind of support. Secondly, we are also a small country, and small region in a small country. So our government, fully competitive and competent for the support for trade and investments, and to support the facilities of logistic providers inside Europe, are very easy to approach. The ministers are very keen to welcome Chinese companies and to come here in China to develop new relations. And last but not least, we have special dedicated infrastructures. Not only the airports, also the seaports close by our region, in Antwerp, in Rotterdam, in Zeebrugge, where the seaports are very important to bring new stocks and large volumes of products coming to China. Now we have also developed and launched this initiative with the Henan province of the first block train inside our country. 2 or 3 times per week, a fully block train of 56 wagons are coming to Liège, just close by this famous airport, to develop a new support of the Belt and Road Initiative launched by the Chinese government. And we, as Germany does, as maybe other countries, as in France, in the UK, in Spain, and Italy. We are now directly linked with the central position in China, in Henan province, where a kind of hub also is trying to be developed by the Chinese government and directly linked to us. And finally, we are proud to say that we have maybe the most flexible and comprehensiveness customs in Europe, because we are close by the European Commission, so we have to be maybe the most accurate and the most flexible to approach this kind of new programs, and this kind of new supportive companies to come into Europe with special, dedicated, fully customs regulations.
Great. I actually had the chance to visit the Liège airport a few months ago, last year, and indeed it is a huge structure, still growing, and but still with a lot of potential. And so that's my question. Wants to start from this. You say that one of the most important things is the infrastructures. So what kind of services are you planning to offer? Because aside from logistic and from the very strategic place where Liège is, what are the kind of services like VAT or bank connections? What can you provide as a cluster of company and as association to these to the Chinese companies that are entering Europe in terms of services?
Most important is that our facilities, our infrastructure are mainly fully dedicated to cargo. So if you go to the big train stations or in the big airports in Europe, we will maybe have to fight with the passenger flights, and so our government decided to make of this airport a fully dedicated cargo. So all the customs, all the VAT facilities, with a large number of companies in charge of supporting the foreign companies to come here to Belgium and to support them. So we have a strong customs department, a large people, and the short time between the entry of the goods inside the airports and to go out, to go to the final destination is very, very close. Do you know that maybe we know that the Netherlands maybe and the Holland market is maybe the most important for the flowers and the fruits coming all over the world. A majority of the traders for flowers and fruits are using the Liège airport before going to Amsterdam, close by Schiphol airport, to sell their flowers in the global auction markets. And they come to Liège because coming to this fully cargo dedicated airport, the time to go out with the fresh products and fresh fruits and fresh flowers and vegetables, it's shorter than coming directly from Amsterdam airport to Amsterdam city. So that's why we have a kind of special support for this. We have also land available, and that's why we are very proud to say that Cifnews, logistic providers and logistic company from Alibaba Group, has chosen 5 big hubs to provide and to sell their products worldwide inside the 72 hours delivery program worldwide. And Liège, for this reason, the rapidness of the customs, the place and the land available there, and the support of the government, these are the 3 main reasons they have chosen Liège and not Paris, not in Germany and not in the Netherlands as the best location to start the operations. And thanks to this arrival of Alibaba in Liège, a lot of other Chinese logistic companies are following. So we are very keen with this EU-China logistic incubator to develop more support for these companies, because we have been elected by Cifnews, so it's important to make the follow-up for that.
This is very, very interesting and very insightful of the current situation, and The train from Zhengzhou is of course a big thing, and the cooperation with Cifnews, which is the logistical department, the logistics software infrastructure of Alibaba. And I think, if I'm not wrong, the project will be active from 2020, right? These are great news, and this really makes Belgium and Liège at the center of the cooperation between Europe and China. You also are already an hub for FedEx, if I'm not wrong, and also I remember a lot of flights coming and going from Africa, so it's a very well connected with different areas of the world. So targeting right now kind of a niche issue, since you spoke about the facility and the quickness in coming and going out of the airport, even faster than Amsterdam Schiphol airport to the city. There's an issue that is it's pretty big in China, and it's the instability of Europe in general as an area, and I mean the recent kind of instability, and let's say the yellow vest movement in France that caused a lot of troubles with the traffic and stuff like this. Is it something that has somehow impacted you, or is it something that you are working on preventing in case is impacting you? Is an issue that you feel relevant?
Yes, it's an issue because it could happen, maybe some concerns, some problems also in Belgium. And we are very keen to be cautious about that. And so we already make efforts and make some meetings and relation with this kind of a group of protest groups inside Belgium, because there is also some smaller than in France, small groups of protest in Belgium. But in terms of government policies and government behavior regarding all these logistics facilities, because everybody in Belgium knows that we are very fully supported of openness of our country to the rest of the world, and our economy is fully dedicated and very developed through and around these logistics facilities. So everybody from years to years is very pay attention of that the logistic facilities, the logistic infrastructure, the roads, the airports and the seaports and so on will never been touched by this kind of protest. It's mainly in the center cities, in city centers of Brussels, of the big European Commission head office, and that these kind of things are happening, but never in the airports and never during the night, because you know that these airports are open 24 hours, so a lot of volumes are coming during the night, mainly by FedEx and other companies. But we are happy to say that there is a lot of commitments inside our country to make this infrastructure more secure than everywhere in Europe.
Since we touched the topic, we might as well touch another very important thing that is involving, of course, Europe in a way, and represents one of the big changes and kind of insecurity that is a general feeling of these years. And I'm talking about Brexit. Do you already perceive Brexit as a huge opportunity for your logistic hub and for all the companies in your area to become even more now a very important strategic entry point to the European market, especially for Chinese companies?
Yes, of course, because if you say that through the Brexit issue, and we don't know exactly what will happen in the near future, but if you see that maybe the tax and the income tax and also the entry taxes of the companies will be higher or different in UK than the rest of Europe, maybe it will be less than in the rest of Europe, or maybe higher than in the rest of Europe. So this uncertainty, it's not the point is not the level of the taxes, but maybe the uncertainty, instability is very, very damageable for the Chinese companies. So the fact also that coming to the UK and to have difficulties or some concerns to enter afterwards the continental market inside Europe could be also a big issue for the Chinese companies. So I think that it could be for our logistic providers and our logistic sectors a good opportunity maybe to have a bit more entry products that are coming directly to our country for the European market and to be distributed without any concerns and tax and barriers into Europe.
Got it. That makes sense. That's of course. I agree. The fact that it's not really the issue of the taxes specifically; it's more the uncertainty right now, and the same thing with trade war. With the United States of America is not knowing what's going to happen that is like creating panic rather than the actual things that are happening in the market. So just to close on a positive note, what are you expecting from this 2019? What do you think are the biggest trends that you're going to be facing? What are the new services or new things that you're working on? And what are you guys expecting from this collaboration with Cifnews?
We have big responsibilities now because we've been elected by Alibaba to launch this new hub, and it's not only a logistic hub, it's the kind of real partnership with the government of Belgium, government of Wallonia in the electronic world trade platform program launched by Jack Ma a few months ago with the first EWTP hub in Kuala Lumpur. So we have big responsibility also towards our central China partners in Henan and Hubei province, and now the time is coming to maybe secure all the facilities and to give the message to the Chinese companies that the choice they have made is the good choice. It's not only a way to welcoming these companies and then that's it. We are now fully responsibilities and new responsibilities to make their life more easy than ever every other places in Europe, and we will do so. And thanks this collaboration with Cifnews, with these 2 or 3 exhibitions in Europe, and we hope so this big event that we will launch for the first time in Liège, in our region for the first cross-border e-commerce forum. Made in collaboration with our EU-China logistic incubator and Cifnews, we could maybe put on the map of the Chinese companies that is the place to be and the place to start their business in Europe. There are other places could be also interesting for these Chinese companies, but one of them in the central location in Europe, close by to Brussels, the European Commission, and close by to the big players of the competing companies and competing countries like France, Germany, and the Netherlands. Definitely, Belgium could be the place to be for Chinese companies.
I think so too, and the place to be and the place to start is a very solid way to sum it all up. So, thank you very much, Michel, for your time. Thank you for being here, and bye-bye.